Coming up on Mountain News this morning, there was a police chase over the weekend that eventually led to an officer-involved shooting. And a Commonwealth city is in financial trouble as it finds itself more than $300,000 in debt.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. We're coming up on 5 a.m. on Tuesday, February 6th. Now let's send it over to meteorologist Tim Drawbridge for a look at your forecast this morning.
After a beautiful day yesterday, hitting 60 officially in Jackson, we'd like some more of that, right? Well, a little bit cooler as we promised for today before we're back around 60 again tomorrow. And into Thursday, it is 32 as of last check here in Hazard outside our WYMT studios. So the pattern will be continuing as we head through the next couple of days. Gorgeous weather, mild temperatures before the pattern changes later in the week. Temps early this morning, similar to where we were yesterday morning. Pretty much upper 20s into the low and mid 30s. It is, last check at Irvin, 30, 32 as you make way toward Prestonsburg. Satellite weather composite, not much going on locally, just some clouds as you make your way back through Indiana into Illinois. And the planner as we rock and roll through your Tuesday. A good deal of sunshine and forecast highs in Hazard today, getting into the lower 50s mid-afternoon. More about the First Alert 7-day forecast coming up in just a few moments. Olivia?
All right, Tim, thank you. And we do have some sad news to share with you all overnight. Country music star Toby Keith died Monday, according to a post on his official website. The singer was 62 years old. His family says he died peacefully in his sleep, surrounded by family. The singer opened up about his battle with stomach cancer in 2022. He was diagnosed the year prior. A police chase in Laurel County led to an officer-involved shooting. One man was reportedly hospitalized as a result. Police say no officers were hurt. The shooting occurred in the Lilly community. WYMT's Chandler Wilcox talked to an eyewitness about what she saw.
Aline Sidesmore was at her home when she heard sirens. She then looked outside.
About that time, as I saw the blue lights turning on our road coming down the hill, and they were chasing a gold Trailblazer, and it was going at a high rate.
Sizemore says the suspect then flew into her driveway.
I thought the rate he was going to go through my house, so I jumped back from my window.
The chase ended in Sizemore's front yard. The impact so intense, she said, mud splattered onto her home. Sizemore says she started hearing gunfire.
The gunfire, it seemed like it went on forever. They actually asked me how many bullets I heard. I couldn't tell you.
The suspect was shot and later taken to the hospital. Sizemore says police remained on the scene for several hours.
They brought all their lights in. There were 15 cop cars that we counted at one time that was here most of the night.
Sizemore says she shook all evening after the incident. She says police left the scene sometime around 2:30 Monday morning. In Laurel County, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
A man who once pleaded guilty in a 2014 DUI crash that killed 4 people is in trouble with the law again. Hazard police arrested Sean Harden after a traffic stop. They say he had a suspended license and a warrant for his arrest. Police found money, suspected drugs, paraphernalia, and a gun in his car. He was taken to the Kentucky River Regional Jail. WYMT archives from 2015 show Harden was sentenced to 13 years in prison on 4 counts of second-degree manslaughter and an assault charge after the Breathitt County crash that killed 4 young men. We reported at that time he would have been eligible for parole in 2017. One person is dead after a crash in Knott County. It happened around 4 yesterday afternoon. State police say it involved a motorcycle and another vehicle. Police have not released the name of the person who died or any other information yet. Officials in Elkhorn City are trying to find a way to financial freedom, looking at years of spending more money than the city is receiving, which officials say is the reason for more than $300,000 in debt. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has more about the problem that was only found because of a pension.
It all started when an Elkhorn City employee was unable to pull money from his retirement fund.
Until we went to Frankfurt, we figured out that he hadn't been paid in 18 months. He'd have been took out of our checks and not turned in.
Leaving the city on the line for more than $100,000 owed to the pension fund for its people, and the city clerk losing her job.
It's killed me because I want to see what's right, but I'll say it. I don't care what nobody says. I don't believe the girl took a dime. It wasn't there to take to begin with.
Mayor Mike Taylor says no theft is suspected, just a mishandling of the city's finances and a failure to communicate the issues. He says the city is essentially operating in the red, with water bills being ignored by many people since the beginning of the pandemic, and years of people living in properties without paying taxes.
And that's what's wrong with us now, because dead people cannot pay taxes. And it goes on for years, and it's not like somebody don't have ownership to it, they've never switched it.
But his concern comes with the lack of red flags thrown out by the state. He says they contacted the former clerk about the failure to pay into the pension funds, but never went beyond that.
And that's the part that bothers me, that they that's why I'm if the governor's help with this, even the attorney general's help with this, because why wouldn't you get a hold of me? Why wouldn't you come?
Taylor claims the commission saw financial reports during every meeting, but never had a reason to question anything until the pension issues. Now he says the city will have to find financing from outside to get back on its feet, with a new clerk at the helm and a council looking for the best path forward.
It's on us and the council that is going to have to make a decision where you go now.
Asking the public to be involved by paying their bills and reaching out to their representatives, hosting a community meeting Monday night to get everyone on the same page.
And it's going to take a few months, but I think that we will get back on our feet with getting the tax thing straightened up, making everybody pay their water bill and pay right in taxes. And I think Elkhorn City will be going again.
In Pike County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Taylor says the last audit for the city was in 2019. He has reached out to the county and state about the city's ongoing issues, hoping to find answers and guidance in the days to come. A ranking that is not so good for Kentucky. A new study by Forbes says Kentucky ranks number 2 in the country for an increase in vaping over the past 6 years. Kentucky also tied for first with Oklahoma as the state with the highest amount of adults who vape every day. Melinda Ickes, a professor in health promotion at the University of Kentucky, says when vapes came on the market, the idea was for them to be used by adults as an alternative to cigarettes, not to be used by teens.
Many of them are turning to these products as a coping mechanism, because they might not have another outlet. Need to use the evidence-based practices that are working in other states. Many are putting more funding into prevention and treatment. And the more that we build on lessons learned with other states that are seeing success, the better success that we'll have here in Kentucky.
The Forbes study says people use regular cigarette products more often than vaping devices. Paleontologists at Mammoth Cave National Park revealed 2 fossilized shark species that are new to science. Both species lived around 340 million years ago when Kentucky was still a tropical sea. With the help of the nation's leading paleontologists, more and more fossils within the cave system have been identified in recent years, and researchers expect that even more are on the way.
Before 4 or 5 years ago, we had absolutely no idea that we had all of these exciting sharks and that so many new to science, and that Mammoth Cave would be able to be one of the most important shark localities from about 340 million years ago.
More than 70 ancient fish and shark species have been discovered within the park, and more are still under review. And thanks for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. When we return, chocolate lovers are rejoicing just before Valentine's Day, so we'll take a second to show you how it's traditionally made.
Who wouldn't rejoice about chocolate, right? How about rejoicing about the sunshine? It was fantastic yesterday. Can we get some more of that? Well, I'll let you know. First Alert 7-day forecast coming up right after this.